How to get started with the cPRO. The motors are powered, put in the battery, remove the antenna cap and mount the antenna and turn it on and it's connected. Depending on which information you want to see on the screen, the cPRO offers different information displays. You can scroll through them through the thumb wheel, and some of the screens even have different pages where you can click through using the center button at the display. Did you know that through the menu button too, you can jump right into each menu depending on the page you are? To quickly change lenses, you can assign any of the user buttons to load lens or load pre-marked rings. The cPRO system is compatible with the cPRO pre-marked rings, but also with the WCO4 pre-marked rings. In a future software update, the cPRO Plus will also be compatible with the new RE Smart Focus rings. For extra long days, you can activate the power save mode. This will save up to 30% of the power of the hand unit. Once the mode is activated, you can just pick it up and you're ready to roll again. If your motor slips through during the calibration process, you can abort it by pressing the calibration button again. In this case, I have set the calibration on the user button 3. This works on the hand unit, but also on the motor. If you're creating a file, the user buttons are set as follows. BB1 is for setting a value. User button 1 is adding a line. User button 2 is deleting a value or a line. And user button 3 lets you change the resolution.
Knob only calibration. I've assigned it to user button 2. Press and hold, and only the focus will calibrate. Nice. Camera control and playback. Just swipe through the menus until you get to the camera settings. You press and hold the middle button and you can adjust all basic parameters of the camera, as well as having playback.
In the load lens menu you have different options. You can either list the different lenses by manufacturer, key stop and focal length. You can add any lenses to your favorite list and only highlight your favorites by using the user button 1. And you can show more detailed information about the lens by user button 3. You can assign each of the controls of the cPRO hand unit, the zoom, the slider, the knob, but also the thumb wheel, to different controls. So you have the focus, iris and zoom motor, but also the filter if you're using a cinefade, and the auxiliary axis for a possible fourth motor or the autofocus ramp.
Hey guys, this is Gunnar Mortensen, Focus Puller Los Angeles. I was just going to show you the stealth mode. So if you look here, all the lights are on with the reflections, and then you go bada bing, go to main, stealth mode, turn that on, and now all the lights are off. So that is helpful when you're dealing with reflections and shooting through glass with
How the cPRO cam-in is your DP's best friend. Simply connect it to any Elbus device, power it up. You're on the same channel as the hand unit, so you can switch between client and host mode by pressing the upper button for 5 seconds. Now in the host mode, you have full control over the desired axis. The client and host mode of the cPRO cam-in allows you also to use 2 cam-ins as a range extender. The first one is talking to the hand unit, connected to a second one which will talk to the motor on the camera. This will increase the range of the 2 systems dramatically. If your motors are mounted upside down on the camera, you can actually flip the display. Simply press and hold the down button for 5 seconds, and then you can switch either direction you want to have the display. Within the main menu, you will find the user profiles. This will allow you to create a snapshot of the current settings of the hand unit. In this case, I've created one for studio, one for exterior shots, one for the Cinefate variant D if you want to pass the hand unit to the DP, or DIT settings. The cPRO One is the DIT's best friend. You have the iris control within the same network, but it's also the only single-axis hand unit where you have full camera control for ARRI, RED and Sony cameras. Today we're going to show you how easy it is to share a lens file within the same network. So all 3 hand units are connected to the same system. Simply go to lens load, load your selected lens, and all hand units are synchronized. Another unique feature of the cPRO system are the distance marks. This will allow you to set markers not based on the motor position, but based on the current value from any rangefinder. The cPRO system offers 3 kinds of limits. First, you have the motor limit, which limits the rotation on the lens to a full rotation of the knob, ideally for macro shots. Second one is the motor and control limit, which limits both the motor and the knob in the same way, so you can still use the pre-marked rings. And finally, you have the control limit, where you have a limited rotation on the knob to a full rotation on the lens, ideally for fast focus recs. The cPRO system offers a bunch of customization features. One of them is the brightness. You can choose any of the illuminations and change it individually. You can also activate the auto brightness feature, which dims or highlights any LEDs depending if you are indoor or outdoor. All of the front buttons of the cPRO hand unit are background illuminated. If a button is not illuminated, that means that there's no function assigned to this button. This is especially useful if you are in any of the menus, that you see which button has a function in each menu.